we're able to get a result on the road. It is encouraging, I guess. But yeah, 1-1 against Nashville. Rivalry week. It's really tough to say actually there. But yeah, welcome in everybody. Yeah, Connor, Elliot, thank you for responding there. Connor, we will get to your comment in a second, but yeah, absolutely, it is a result on the road where, yeah, things have looked dire, but yeah, still winless in 8. Not fantastic. Pretty much 2 months we have not won a game, and while this may keep Gonzalo Pineda in his steed for a little bit longer, it's still worrying. We do score from open play. That is a little bit better. It's a pullback from Bartosz, who takes it well one time, and we score it from a moment where we were on top, and it's a very good layoff from Muyumba, who definitely looked a lot better in this match as well. But yeah, the lineup itself was chopped and changed. Rios up top. You had Caleb Wiley at left wing, and yeah, it's definitely very, very interesting. Yeah, guys, if you can hear me, I mean, it looks like my internet might be a little bit weak at the moment here, so we're gonna power through. Keep me posted how the connectivity is. But Ronald Hernandez also started at left back, and Stian Gregerson started instead of Luis Abram. Yeah, we also saw Nick Firmino in the number 10 spot, who I actually thought had a pretty decent match, but it is interesting that he was taken off at halftime. So yeah, Connor, I'm gonna read your comments here. I'm just thankful we got a goal and did not cough up anything in the second half. Now all we have to do is sign 6 players during the transfer season, and I'm happy. I mean, it kind of looks like that we need a handful of players to get to where we need to be. We probably need to let go of some players as well, if that is the case. Obviously, our squad building has been suspect as of the past few years, and the U22s and a lot of the roster designations have handcuffed us. So this is not only on Gonzalo points. Drew, hello. Audio is fine. Video has lag. Where was Amada? He was unfortunately injured, leg injury. And let's see. We can hear you fine. Audio is perfect. Video is choppy. Yeah, video is laggy and choppy. Yeah, we're gonna power through. Sorry, guys. At least you can hear me well. That's good. Yeah, my internet ain't great, but it's usually why Michael's crazy broadband internet. But yeah. So we'll try to power through this and go through. Won't be our enemy here. But so yeah, Drew, hop on. We will get you in here. But yes, it's one of those games where, okay, it does kind of help for Gonzalo Pineda, and there were some good moves as far as kind of getting us back into the match in the second half. So credit goes to Pineda for those changes that made us look more lively, and at the very least, Jamal Tiare looked more apt than some of the other players. And then Noah Cobb, we definitely want to wish him the best here. Yeah, that injury looked pretty bad. He had to hobble off, and hopefully he will be okay. Hopefully it's not too serious, and he won't be out too long. But Efrain Morales definitely looks an interesting player. Why, again, he wasn't played during that FC Cincy match is still perplexing because he looks like a stout defender. He looks like a player that is unafraid to get stuck in. And at 6'4", I mean, he is just a unit. So definitely at the end of matches, not a bad player to bring on to see out a match at all. But yeah, I think we saw improved performances from Muyamba, like I said. Schleich also had a pretty decent game as well. But yeah, Drew, whenever you can, hop in, and we will get you in here. But yeah, I mean, as well, it's something about playing, away right now, at any point really, is that we look dead for a half, and these chances, they weren't coming aplenty. It was definitely, I wouldn't say it's fairly dire. It wasn't anemic, but it was fairly dire. We were creating the all the way up until the final third, essentially. But could we actually make anything happen? Not often did it look like that was going to be the case. But here we go. We are joined by Drew. And Drew, welcome in. Let us have your thoughts.
Not a bad game. Definitely not happy that we didn't get a win out of this game, but we at least looked better considering all the injuries we had. That first half, there was periods of times where we were definitely, our attack was flowing and moving a lot better than in probably the past 3 or 4 games, which is a positive to see. I was glad to see TRA on there. He looked lively in the second half, and that's good to see. Maybe gives us another option instead of playing Rios up top. I didn't like the substitution for Firmino. That seemed a little weird. He seemed very, very lively in that first half and was creating chances, but overall good to get a result on the road. So
yeah, absolutely. And I mean, the 11, when you saw it, what were your thoughts? Because definitely it's changed. Kind of brought a different energy and a different feel.
I was glad to see it. It's something different. We kept trying to force one lineup to work, and it wasn't working. Good to try Wiley on the wing, give him a shot there. He was hit or miss there. He definitely was trying to push forward a lot more, but his crosses weren't connecting well. Saba's had an off game today, so we'll see how this goes. Especially, we don't know how long Giakoumakis and Almada are going to be out, so we'll see what we have to do with the chop and change lineup right now.
Yeah. I mean, Saba, it looks like, even though he's scored recently-ish, kind of, but it does seem like, he's been able to be healthy, but the past 2 months also, he looks a different player. He looks someone that's bereft of confidence. He really needs, to see the back of the net bulge from open play. And, but besides Saba, though, Stian Gregerson came in, our lone DP that was able to be in the lineup. What were your thoughts on Gregerson and his performance today?
It's solid, like he's been all season. Good to have him back. He's got a lot more pace than you would expect for somebody of his size. He can move, and that's very good. He's also got that leadership. He looked well controlling the back line with Cobb. It kind of sucks that he got that yellow card earlier in the game, because that probably kept him from staying on the full 90 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So uh, him getting back into defense. Another thing is I like Morales coming in after the injury for Cobb. That he again shows a solid performance. I kind of like his energy and his size and willingness to try to get ahead on the ball. He's somebody that I'm a little interested in here now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's we've suffered a lot of injuries, so this is always kind of the caveat that we are able to give Gonzalo Pineda. Obviously, is that he has not really had a full strength 11 for most of the time that he's been a coach, but like these pieces that don't really pertain to him in the sense that these homegrowns, obviously he's not developing these players, but him bringing them on, kind of having to in a pinch, we're discovering things from these players that maybe he didn't realize, and now he is realizing, okay, yeah, I can trust Morales, in these crunch moments when we need a defensive stop. Even though, yeah, he did barge in and pretty much fouled Mukhtar on his first involvement, but luckily we were unscathed on that one. But
you say, I don't hate that kind of thing. Sometimes you gotta kind of give a team, especially one that's trying to press, you gotta kind of give a team a little battering sometimes just to back them. They'll think twice about going into positions after that. So I don't hate it once in a while, as long as he's smart about it.
Right. Indeed. And guys, I'm hearing that it's Robo Drew. Okay, yeah, if there is a little bit of the, where we can try to get better internet, I would obviously love to, but yep, that's what's going on a little bit. So let us know if it's sputtering a little bit or having any issues, but yeah, as far as, I guess, man, we haven't been able to really choose really much of a man of the match lately, unfortunately. But if you were to, do you have a man of the match?
Bartosz, he's been the man of the season, honestly. So with all the turmoil that's been going on, he's been the one solidifying factor of this team. He got the goal, which beautiful goal, and he's been trying this he's been looking to get into that pocket of space to fire a shot past couple games, which is good to see. It's our six trying to get up into the attack a little bit more, and he gets the goal, which is a beauty, and then immediately after that puts in an amazing tackle and is celebrating that tackle. It's amazing to see the kind of performances he can put in there, especially with our team not being as good.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I feel you on the shining light for Atlanta United this season, because while some people have slated him, I don't know, I disagree. It's he's been a player that has kind of really, I think, steadied the midfield for us, and I think is a reason why we're not exactly conceding as many goals as last season, which was on a pace that is horrifying last year. But this year, yeah, a bit better. We still have those boneheaded moments, and that's really what undoes us. And yeah, speaking on that, what was your thought on the penalty call? Was it a penalty? Was it a dive?
It's soft. It's very soft. I can see why it could be given, but the fact that he was going to ground before Guzan even came out, because it wasn't the foul on Cobb that was given. It was Guzan that was given the card. So
he roll forward that way from the contact that Guzan made. So yeah, it's definitely, it's one that, I mean, it's frustrating, frustrating in so many ways because we're not getting a lot of breaks either, and against a side that with the new head coach or new interim head coach, it is something that this match they did have the better chances, to be fair. I mean, and so we see this match kind of end in 1-1. It kind of flatters us a little bit too. It kind of also where, I mean, we're the only one that scores from open play. It's a weird match. It's just a weird match.
It is.
And I relish the days where we can win boring. That's I don't remember when that was, but whenever that was, I yearn for it. But as far as some more thoughts. What were your other takeaways from this match?
Yeah. Defensively, it looked pretty decent. They had a couple chances here or there that shot from distance there, and then the disallowed goal where Hernandez got fouled. But honestly, we were pretty solid defensively, so that's at least a positive here. We weren't giving up grade A chances throughout the game, and we toward the end of the second half, we started to control the game. Silva came on, and he started to have a lot of energy coming into that match, and we started getting more chances. We just couldn't. Once we hit the final third, we could not get a good shot on target, and that seems to be the thing we're lacking right now, is just getting the ball on target. And I don't. Maybe having TRA in there, giving him some more starts with Giacomakis out will be good, but I don't know what's going to happen. Silva's got to take some more shots. Saba's got to take some more shots. We just got to shoot more.
Yeah, I mean, it's also getting us into the final third, which, I mean, this match we were able to, more so than previous matches, for sure. But it is where some of that final ball delivery so that players can actually get in a good scoring position also was very lacking in this match. And it just all comes down to a lot of confidence right now, and we are lacking it severely. But let's get into the chat a little bit. Ellie even agrees Firmino should have stayed on. Connor Watson says it's better now. Yeah, awesome. Good. Connor Thompson says, do you think Carlos Bocanegra should be canned? I mean, that should have been done a while ago. But, we're here. And it is, we obviously had a better transfer window this past year in the summer window. And so it kind of bought him some more time. Obviously we also mentioned, do we owe him an apology? I mean, I think as of right now, I think we're seeing the unfortunate fruits of the not really fruits, obviously, but the fruits of his labor in past windows, where it's why it's handcuffing us right now, as far as depth, as far as being able to get out of this mire. But Connor Thompson also mentions unified team is up 1-0. So, yeah, well, that's definitely good. Hopefully we can get a result from one of these teams that is playing there tonight. But yeah, I guess final thoughts from you, Drew.
Better performance. At least we got a result. We got a draw on the road. That's not the worst. We look better in stretches, which is far better than we could have said in the last few games. And let's hope we can go into Opens Cup on Tuesday and get a win and just keep progressing through that tournament here.
Yeah, it's definitely our best chance for a trophy. It's definitely we should absolutely prioritize it. It's no doubt. I mean, if there's any chance of us getting into the Champions League, and any sort of, I guess, salvaging the season so far, we need that. So, but because coming from our position, it's gonna be a fight to even get a playoff spot. I feel like, or a home playoff spot, which is really what's important. Because if Pineda's still in his spot, if we have to pretty much go on the road in the playoffs, I mean, will it be any better? Like, that's kind of the point. It's kind of the point of what why a lot of people are wanting Pineda gone, is because we cannot seem to win on the road ever. So, but yeah, Drew, always a pleasure, man. Thanks for hanging out, and yes, we will talk to you soon.
See you later.
See you. Good night. All right. So, as far as hopefully the stream is still working. Apologies, guys. It's definitely looking not the most steady stream. We're gonna try to pretty much get through this just like we got through this match on a Saturday. 2-0 Unified team. Okay, all right. Fair enough. The Unified team is showing up the first team. But yeah, Niall, join us when you get the chance. But yeah, I mean, I think we definitely missed Stian Gregerson, of course. I think the interesting bit is if we will see him play the U.S. Open Cup match. Honestly, I would probably, probably give him another cameo, whether it's from a starting position or from, maybe 30 more minutes later on in the match. But, as far as and Connor, thank you, stream good. But, yeah, I mean, it shows, the team is definitely still fighting, and that's absolutely great. You saw Gonzalo Pineda pretty much high-five every single player after the match, and it was something that, we we needed to see. Honestly, it was, where, the players look like they are definitely, still with the coach. That's good. I think the aspects where it's never been that for Gonzalo Pineda. You know what I mean? He's the type of coach that is the player's coach. He will see the players fight for him, but there's no doubts about him as a person. He is a good guy. The thing is that tactically, it's just another thing where, the best we can do is hope for a draw on the road. And it's just not good enough. Like we as a fan base, we support the club too much. We support the club in so many facets by going to so many games, by filling out the stadium, and the ways that the numbers look pretty much on a regular basis. It's 43,000 paid attendance, but it definitely isn't that in the stadium. And though, kudos to all the away fans that went to Nashville. It was a strong contingency. There was a lot of kind of loudness, I would say, that kind of overpowered the Nashville fans. So, that's definitely a good thing. And I mean, it's Nashville, so it's close. We always show out in numbers, so it's always somewhere that we can, make sure that the contingency is strong. But now I see you. Whenever you're ready. Yes, there we go. All right. Well, Niall, welcome in. Let us have your thoughts. It's definitely not the result we wanted, but probably it's better than expected to a degree. Oh, Niall, we can't hear you. Let's make sure real quick. I see you, yeah, strategically putting your phone in this plant here. Okay, we'll retry your audio. Yeah, try it again in the background here while we figure it out. But Uzumaki Leon, not sure why he always brings Brennan along if he never gives him even a 5-minute look. The kid breaks ankles for fun. He definitely does, but it is, it's a 1-1 game. I can see that. Yes, he can change the match a little bit, but it is something that, yeah, there is some sort of responsibility that you still have to have a little bit. It even says Atlanta needs a coaching change. Niall, yeah, just try mic checking. And I'll hear you in the background, I think. Maybe hop out, hop in. Maybe try that. Reset your Discord. But guys, yeah, Drew was able to get in first because he's a Patreon member. Niall as well. So if you want to get on, definitely join us in Discord. And yeah, Patreon members get priority. But let's see. Connor Thompson says Unified Team wins 2-0 on the road. Fantastic. Definitely showing up the first team. But yeah, Niall, let me know when your audio might be working. And
does it work now?
Yes, it does.
Okay, cool. All right, good.
Perfect. Love it. Well, yes.
Yeah.
Welcome in. Like I said, let us have your thoughts.
Thoughts like you said before, like you wanted to get the win. A draw is like not like too bad, I guess, but considering the form you're in, it's not great. It's still, I think this is what, like 8 games that you're without a win now.
Yeah.
But there were some things that I did like, but there was also things that I still feel like this team struggles to be a bit more urgent in the final third. I feel like the moves that they're pretty slow at times, and I don't like sometimes how the team tends to like pass backwards when they should really be passing forwards. There was a couple times where I was just watching the game and I was like, why are we passing backwards here? You should be passing forwards. And then we're still very sloppy in the final third, but obviously Nashville's also not a great team as well, so thankfully we were able to get at least something from the match, but definitely it's not enough for me, especially considering how many points you have.
As forgiving as a league as it is, we will, again, like I mentioned with Drew, it's going to be a struggle to get into a home playoff spot, which, as the team has delineated, is the goal. Like that, those are their points. They their goals for the season, their objectives, and we're very far from it. So, the very fact that Gonzalo Pineda is still in, that just shows a little bit of lack of ambition. But how do you see it?
For me, I think this draw bought him some time, but I think for me, if they don't get a win at LAFC, then I feel like they might pull the trigger then, because you're already at 8 matches without a win, and for it to go any further than that, for me, you're pretty much going at the panic button by then. So for me, if they don't get a win against LAFC, for me, I feel like that's when they'll probably pull the trigger.
Yeah. And as far as what you saw that was good, you mentioned there were some good things. What did you see that was encouraging that maybe we can bring forward with us in the next matches?
I mean, Yeah, like it's hard to like honestly like take good things from a result that's not a win. But I mean, I will say, for example, I thought when Shande came on in the match, I thought he looked very lively. Um, I think he looked he was kind of feeling himself, I think. And then for me, I also think that the Shalish, for example, he had a great game. He scored the tying goal, obviously. Um, I will say, I think that Firmino was actually not too terrible. I mean, he could have done better, arguably, but for me, I liked the way that he was pressing. And then it's like it's not big things obviously, but it's like there's just some ways, and like the ways that the players are like perform today that I found encouraging. But at the same time, there's obviously still things that I don't like, such as the way that we're often very slow when we're progressing the ball forward, and then we're also just very, like I said before, we just don't know how to keep the ball. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, and that's the interesting bit is like we're a team that tries to play with a lot of possession, and yeah, we won the possession battle today. But yeah, it's just there were times where it's listless possession, but then when we're trying to push it, and we do get into the final third, we don't have the final ball, and I mean, it's just systematic. Like there's just problems abound all over the place. So it's just like. Yeah, you can draw positives, but then ultimately, like yes, you don't have the star players, but yeah, you still have to have some sort of system to play these away matches to get results. And I'm sorry, it's just a draw is just not good enough anymore for me. Like not with Gonzalo Pineda. I mean. Not when it's this dire. It essentially, it doesn't inspire it doesn't inspire the fans to really want to, I think, in any sense, put aside anything else that they're doing, and just put this game on. Go to the bar, spend money, like go to away matches. It makes it really difficult to do that when, in this economy, like for a lot of people, it's a struggle. So, that's something that I think, they have to look at. They really have to look into themselves of, okay, the optics of not making a move sooner is hurting their brand. But that's my thoughts. I mean, I know you said, around LAFC if that happens. But I mean, hop into the mind of the front office, if we will. What do you think they're thinking, and why there is no sense of like, okay, a move needs to be made ASAP.
First, I think one of the big things for me is I don't think the club wants to have to make a coaching change unless they really have to, and of course, right now they most likely do, but I think it's a situation where the club wants a sense of stability because this club has, like, honestly pretty much lacked. They've had like a new manager like every 2 years or something like that, so there's not much continuity. I think also the second thing is like you want to make sure that you have a manager lined up in place if you fire Pineda, because if you just fire Pineda and then you have no options worked out, then what does it really want to do? Because for me, if you just fire Pineda and you don't have any options in mind, it just seems like you're kind of punting the season. But the argument could also be by keeping him, you're punting the season as well. But for me, you have to have a list of people in mind that you want to go after to kind of make the process go a bit more be more efficient.
Yeah. And for me, that is a damning part of all that is that, I think that shows the lack of ambition, like I said, again, from the club, in that, yeah, I think you always have some candidates ready, not only for head coaches, but for players. So, you always should be scouting more players so that, okay, even if you have some players that are playing pretty well, yeah, you want to find the way to improve on those players so that you can get to the top of the summit. You want to be able to be that team that, is kind of ruthless to a degree where, yes, loyalty is shown, but you also want to be a top club, like every bit of, kind of, I guess, the way they put it out there. Yeah, we want to be, this world power as far as, a world-class club. And it's just, I don't see enough of the moves that actually proves that they're actually wanting to do that. And instead, I see more just kind of, we're okay with the status quo. If we lose, we lose. We're gonna we're gonna paper over the cracks, and especially not be real with the fans a little bit. And that, okay, yeah, like this is a really, like, this is epically bad in terms of LA United. Like, we've never been this bad in our entire existence. Like, we have not been this far down. It just gets, it can get worse, obviously, because of the other teams that are below us. But thankfully, yes, we did get that point. But yes, what was it? Oro Salas 1213 need Frank de Boer back. No, not in my opinion. But yeah. When you hear that about Frank de Boer, like, what do you have nostalgic feelings for Frank de Boer?
Wow, you're putting me on the spot.
I am. Yeah.
I would. No, like, for me, like, when Frank de Boer said that Atlanta fans were spoiled, I know that caused a lot of people to be upset. But for me, I think honestly, he's not wrong when he says that. Because for me, you can only have, for example, like, I understand that people thought that Frank de Boer style of play was boring and that it was not fun to watch. But at the same time, let's not forget, he was one game away from taking you to hosting another MLS Cup. If Joseph did not miss that penalty, I think that would have happened. He also gave you the Campeones Cup, the U.S. Open Cup. I think he had one of the best seasons. Like, he led the team to having one of the best defending MLS champion seasons in the league. But that, like, people were obviously complaining about, like, the way they were playing, and rightfully so. But it's like, at the same time, you can't have it both ways, in my opinion. Like, for me, it's like kind of harder for there to be, like, fans saying, "Oh, I want there to be pretty soccer, but I also want the team to win." But it's like, sometimes you have to play a certain way in order to win. Like, Nashville, for example, they don't play the best football at all. But under Gary Smith, they were very effective. So I'm not like, listen, like, I'm not like saying that, like, the club should bring back Frank de Boer. I think that's time has gone. But I think that time with Frank de Boer shows that, like, as much as, like, people, like, will want to critique the style of play and everything like that, and how, like, there was sort of room, which he did towards the end, but at the same time, he, like I said, he was close to having another MLS Cup hosted here in Atlanta. He won 2 trophies with Atlanta as well. So
yeah, and to be fair, he did adapt throughout that season.
Right,
in 2019, where
right.
The locker room, yeah, he definitely had to save it a little bit by letting kind of more of what they wanted, the South American style, kind of seep into his kind of plotting European style that is definitely more pragmatic. And but I think that's the thing now is, you know, we've evolved, the game wise has evolved into
Right.
where you can have both. You can you know, be a team that plays exciting football and gets results while not having to be completely pragmatic. And I think that's, you know, part of it is, you know, kind of the evolution with people emulating not only Pep, of course, Pep Guardiola, but also Jurgen Klopp with, you know, kind of the gegenpressing, the you know, playing very front foot type of football that you know, I think definitely brings more excitement for sure. But yeah, I think the positional play bit is the, you know, part of it where you know, players can interchange, players know exactly where to be in the spaces. That's definitely a next wave, but also, yeah, I mean, I think we can see that in MLS. That's probably kind of the rub is, you know, can we get some of the better coaches in the world to come here to ply their trade and, you know, kind of make this a more technical league instead of just a league that relies on athleticism, on power and pace, and then, you know, forwards to pretty much create moments of magic out of nothing, which, you know, very much seems like it's a lot of the case, but instead of, you know, kind of a team football, but yeah. Elliot Beeman says, "How about Jose Mourinho?" Nope.
No.
No, thank you. Yeah, that's the definition of not evolution. He's a coach that, yeah, very much has stayed the same, and that's why the game has passed him by. And, you know, like the game changes pretty much every couple years or so, I would say. And Pep Guardiola is definitely one of those. You know, if not, he's already the GOAT, I'm sure. But you know, he is able to implement so many different types of things. And so for us, we don't. I mean, obviously, there's only one Pep Guardiola, but there are his disciples. There are a lot of people that you know, are trying to play his type of football, and I think that's what we can try to go for. Are, you know, people that, you know, have that type of European pedigree, where they're wanting to have a team of their own to see if they can do it, and, you know, I think there's options aplenty, and I promise you, there is a better coach than Gonzalo Pineda at winning away. There, pretty much every coach in MLS is a better coach at winning away than Pineda. So, but yeah. Connor Thompson says the only worrying thing is the rumor mill other than Almada selling is dead quiet. Well, I mean, it's still kind of early in the window. Usually things start kind of kicking up kind of late June, July, at least for MLS.
Right.
So, yeah, it's not that worrying yet. I would say if we were in like mid-July and nothing's happened, yeah, absolutely. You know, I'd be like, okay, well, you know, obviously moves need to be made, because then we're going backwards even more. If Pineda's not out, if, you know, the improvements on the roster are not made, which, yeah, we need to utilize every single window if we can. Which, you know, there's not really a you know, kind of FFP for MLS in that sense where we're spending too much money, that type of thing. It's, you know, there is the roster structure that we have to adhere to, but, you know, obviously the U22s, that's kind of a thing we have to worry about at the end of the season. You know, if there's some dead weight, I mean, I think we gotta try to move it, and even if you get nothing, like, it's still like you have to move that on. But Connor says, "Do you think because Kirk Cousins tampered, we can't make moves?" Obviously, not correlated, but yeah. But anyway, now, final thoughts.
Final thoughts. I'm tired of of seeing this team not win games, so we need to get back on that track. But honestly, it only gets worse from here. So I think we're definitely in the territory. I mean, because let's remember, I think Heinze was sacked after I think.
It was,
I forgot how much, but I think it was
13 games. Yeah, 12, 13 games.
13 games.
Yeah.
13 games, and we're getting close to that threshold. And for me, I understand we got the draw today, but it really doesn't seem to me that I don't really see how like the confidence that this team has lost can get back to where it was unless there's maybe like a new voice. So
yeah, and it's got to be. So it's, I hear you then, and about it. It's you and me both, brother. We're about tired of not seeing this team win, but it is also, I mean, if you're saying, it's like the time should be now. That's not what you're saying, but I'm thinking, what are we waiting for? And it's, that's.
I don't know.
Go ahead. Yep.
No, I was gonna say I think we're waiting for like I don't know, because we obviously got some pieces back. So Gregerson, for example, he's just came back. I mean, we lost some pieces as well, so there's that. But I mean, regardless, I think like the hope was like, oh, let's see like how the team does with the full strength roster. Obviously, that's not going to be the case for a while. So for me, regardless, I think if he doesn't win, I think we play at LAFC next weekend, and then we play at home to Charlotte. If we get no wins from both of those two games, I think he's gone. I wouldn't even be surprised if he's gone with a loss to LAFC. So
yeah, and sandwiched in between that is Inter Miami away. So we
so
yep, it's oodles of fun. Definitely we have some barrages of attacks to look forward to, and the main hope is that our defense is somewhat healthy, and that's the biggest thing.
Just got injured, so
exactly. So Derek Williams, hopefully back to full fitness. Stian Gregerson, hopefully can gain more match fitness. But either way, Niall, thank you so much. Cheers to you, and have a great rest of your day, man.
All right.
Alrighty. So, yes, we'll read the chat a little bit more, but obviously, we won't be spinning the wheel today. It's just me, so we won't just put me through more of these forfeits. But it's also right now, man, the forfeits. It's feeling like homework, especially when we are in such dire form. Like it makes it incredibly tough, and especially when Michael has been sick, we haven't been able to really kind of get together for these away matches either, which is usually when we can kind of make these happen. But get your last minute chats in there before we head out. But definitely a match where it just leaves for frustration, and hopefully there is light at the end of the tunnel. But Connor asks, what positions should we fill? I mean, it's essentially, I think we need more depth for attacking. We definitely lack the ability to game break from the bench. I mean, essentially when you have Mascara as one of the first players off the bench, it doesn't exactly strike fear into the opposition. But yeah, I mean, you know, we either on the wings or in attacking midfields, we definitely just need some more firepower, and absolutely we need more fullbacks, because it's just we don't have the ability to stop somebody else's winger. If a club has very strong wingers, I shudder. We're essentially, yeah, kind of really in dire straits at that point. But, yep, maybe a DP winger. Yeah, that's if we can afford that. I'm just thinking more for depth, that we need some sort of, at least, yeah, it's like, okay, a player that, has an eye for goal. May not be super strong defensively, but at least you can bring him on off the bench, and he can create things, make things happen. But yeah, basically wide players, because that's what makes our system tick for sure. I mean, it is. We do try to play wide a lot. Should we play 8-1-2 and just bunker? Yeah, maybe. Boy, miss LGP and Miles. Yeah, absolutely. LGP is that type of that bastard that we need. He is that type of player that has the leadership, has the willingness to win, do anything to win. Yeah, if he gets a yellow, so be it. I mean, he played a lot of matches, even though he was a yellow card machine. But yeah, and yeah, Connor says, let's get a dub in Holy City versus the Battery. Yeah, for sure. Hopefully we can do the business against an under, maybe not under, but a lower division side in Charleston Battery in the U.S. Open Cup. We definitely need to do it. Obviously, it's that type of in the round of 16, Charleston Battery. It's without a lot of the other MLS clubs. Like we should be progressing. We should be progressing into at least the the Final Four. So the semifinals, I think, should be what is a marker, a barometer of the success of there, and then we should probably, with the talent that we have, depending on when the U.S. Open Cup, will be happening, we should have our talent healthy, barring any surprises on injuries to Yakumakis and Almada. But guys, yeah, all right. So that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you guys for hanging out. Much love to you guys. We really appreciate you. I mean, even in these dire times with the club, winless in 8, but you guys still hanging out. You guys are legends. So, yeah, we will see you in the next video. Make sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. I've been AJ, and thank you so much for watching. See ya.